Here we are talking about induction and deduction. So induction and deduction are old philosophical terms, but they're very practical, I think, if we look closer. So induction means we have a certain number of facts, incidents, things that happened, things we can observe. So let's say something happens. Today is January, and in January, if I look outside, there is snow on the meadow. Okay, so this is my observation. And if I make a logical conclusion from this observation, January, snow in the meadow, I could conclude in January there is always snow. So this wouldn't be a very good induction, so it would be faulty. It doesn't mean if there is once snow in January that every time in January there's snow. But we could induce it is possible that there is snow in January. So this would be a valid induction. It could also be that we come from the other way around. So we say, in winter there is snow. So this is the general rule. In winter there is snow. So we have to be precise. What does it mean? Does it mean in winter there is always snow? Or in winter there can be snow? It could also mean if there is snow, then in winter, if at all. So, but if we would say in winter there is always snow, and then we would define, I don't know, January, December, November, maybe February. These would be months that belong to winter. Then we would say, okay, in these months there is always snow. And if we would make this deduction, this from the general rule coming down to the concrete examples, again, we would have made a faulty logical conclusion. But not because the instrument of deduction is wrong, but because the general rule is wrong. So we all know this general sentence from philosophy that all humans are mortal, and Socrates is a man, so Socrates is mortal. And so this would be a good example of deduction from a general rule coming down to the concrete example. In our examples, in our everyday life, this again is very important that we have a closer look at the general rules we are really assuming, and very often we're not conscious about them. So let's make them transparent, make them visible, and then think about the deductions we are making. And on the other hand, let's look at the really observations and the real examples we're having on our table and looking at the inductions, so the general rules we're constructing out of these examples. If this is really a good induction, if the logical conclusions are really valid.